y'all, welcome back. I'm Mama Dr. Jones, a board-certified OBGYN and mom to 4, and today we're talking about 5 tips that can help you be healthier and happier in 2021. If you're not subscribed and you want to be, on this channel we talk about all things pregnancy, periods, gynecologic health, reproductive health, parenting, and so much more. I would love for you to be here. Hit that little subscribe button below. This video is also sponsored by Noom, and we will hear more about them in a minute. Tip number 1, set some goals. This isn't just about going, okay, in a year, I want to run a marathon. You don't just say that and then a year later, you're running a marathon. You have to set smaller goals. So start out by sitting down and seeing what you want your life to look like 1 year from now. What are the top 3 changes that you want to make this year? Once you have those figured out, break them down into where you want to be in 6 months, in 3 months, and then what you can do this week to help you get closer to that goal. If your goal is to run a marathon in a year, then just get out and run once this week, twice next week, 3 times the next week. That's how you achieve those big goals that you set for a year from now. You can't just set a big goal and then hope that it comes true. Although on that note, we do know that believing you can meet a goal helps you be more likely to meet that goal. Yes, there is a lot of psychology behind this, but how do you actually believe that you can meet a goal? You break it down into actionable steps. So whatever it is, if it's health or if it's fitness, if it's getting into a graduate program or getting into college, if it's losing weight, whatever it is that is your goal, set that, break it down into actionable steps that you can actually tackle. On that note, we'll move on to tip number 2. Take note and celebrate your achievements. I personally have a really difficult time with this, acknowledging when I've actually achieved something. My initial reaction when I meet a goal is to move the goalpost so I have something new to be working on. But in doing that, you often forget to really celebrate how hard you worked to get there. And this is really important, both for your emotional health and psychologically in helping you to continue to meet those goals. So that is a personal goal of mine this year, is to be more cognizant of the achievements that I have. I'll give you an example. Just last week, I was complaining to my friend about how I really wanted to be doing more media and speaking more publicly and how I felt like I was not getting to do any of that. And she said, you were in the New York Times last year. You were on the cover of People Health last year. Have you forgotten that you did all these great things last year? And your YouTube channel is just so successful. Like, don't undercount the achievements while you're looking forward to the next goal. And that is so important, and it really helped me. And I think maybe that will help some of you as well. That moves us on to the sponsor of today's video, which is Noom. Going into this year, I knew I had to make some changes. One of those being focusing more on my own personal health. Sometimes I get caught up in all of the things that I am doing that I forget to really focus on me and my own health. And that is a huge problem. Noom is a health program created by behavioral psychologists that helps you make real behavior changes using psychology so that you can get closer to whatever health goal it is that you've set for yourself. I don't necessarily want to lose weight, but I do want to push my focus back to being healthier, to being in a better exercise routine, and to focusing more on my overall nutrition. I like Noom specifically because it is developed by scientists and backed by actual research. They are specifically against restrictive dieting, which is a massive problem in our current diet culture, which I absolutely hate. You get on their site and take a quick quiz about your health goals and then spend 5 minutes a day using their articles and science-based help tips, as well as recipes and a personal health coach. Yes, you can talk to an actual real person. So often when we're trying to make these changes, we just make ourselves feel utterly guilty for being where we are instead of figuring out how we can move closer to where we want to be. This is a program that helps support your goals by showing you how to change your behavior with science, not guilt. If you'd like to try out Noom and support my channel in the process, you can use my link in the description to take Noom's health evaluation and get started reaching your goals today. Tip number 3. Get better sleep. I know this is so hard because I personally do not have good sleep habits. When we talk about sleep, it's really important to focus on things called sleep hygiene. What is this? This is making sure that you have a comfortable space to rest, that you are ready to go to bed when it's time. And that means putting your phone away at least an hour or two before you actually plan to go to sleep. I am the worst about this, but let me tell you why it's a problem. That blue light from your screen combats your body's natural ability to make melatonin, which is the natural hormone that you make that helps you get ready for restful, deep sleep. And if your body's not making that, you're just not going to sleep as well, and you're not going to feel as rested the next day. Your body uses lack of light to indicate that it's time to start making this melatonin and get into a good sleep pattern. If you think back to before we had electricity, once the sun went down, it started getting dark. You didn't have that bright light anymore, and that's what signals your brain that it's time to get ready for sleep. When we have our phones out or we're on our computer, we are actually combating the natural physiologic process of hormone production that helps us get good sleep. So remove those distractions, put a bedtime on your phone that is 2 hours before your bedtime, and read a book or rest or do something with your hands. Just get away from screens for a little while. Again, I am so not good at this, and it's something I really want to work on. It's also important to make sure you don't have any distractions when you sleep. For people who are parents, this can be exceedingly difficult. And for people who work crazy schedules or get calls in the middle of the night, it can also be difficult. If you have the ability to put your phone on Do Not Disturb in the nighttime, please do that. You never know when someone is going to randomly text you in the middle of the night, and that is very disturbing to sleep. If you have young kids like I do, sometimes it's impossible to completely remove those distractions, but getting your kids on a good sleep schedule can help with that as well. Let's move on to tip number 4. This year, I want to focus on being better at disconnecting. I would say over the past 2 years, probably since I started this YouTube channel, I have been so bad about just being so attached to my phone. I am constantly checking and scrolling and reading and posting, and it's not good for anyone's mental health to be that connected to people who aren't physically in their space. I obviously love and appreciate the power of social media. I'm here today talking to you through the things I'm telling you to disconnect with, and I realize how incongruent that is. But I do think it's really important to find days to take breaks from your phone and from your computer and just really focus on the beauty around you. I mean, I'm sitting here right now, I'm looking out the window. It is absolutely gorgeous outside, and I feel like for my own mental health and probably for all of ours, it would be so good if we could just spend more time outside without our phone, without distractions, to help our mental health. This is super important to feeling like a healthier, happier you in the new year. And tip number 5. This goes right along with the losing some of the distractions, is spend some time by yourself, meditating, praying, exercising, stretching, yoga, whatever it is that makes you really feel like you have spent some time just looking inward every single day. It is hard to find time for ourselves, but that doesn't take that much time. 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, you can find that. And I say that as someone who constantly says, no, I don't have any time for myself. We can make time for ourselves. Make time for yourself, even if it's just a couple of minutes today. Find somewhere quiet to do something that makes you feel more at peace. I hope that these tips helped you today. If you're not subscribed and you want to be, please hit that little subscribe button. Check out our sponsor, Noom. You can use my link in the description to get started meeting your health goals for this year. I will see you next Monday.